Also being on the continent, touring Europe, I think this is something exciting for you. How have you been experienced the place so far?
Reggae and dancehall music are arguably the most iconic music genres that have continued to bless souls in recent times. For several decades, reggae artists from the reggae community have consistently put their community on the world map, and this trend is unlikely to end anytime soon, as several child stars of reggae and dancehall are already poised to keep the fire blazing. Some of these reggae child stars from yesteryears got a breakthrough early and honed their craft, while others left music behind to chase other paths. Here are 15 child stars of reggae and dancehall you may have never heard about. Number 15, Jody and Pantry.
That look, that look, that look, that look. Wow. Bless.
In the history of reggae music, Jody and Pantry stands as one of the few female reggae dancehall artists who set a blazing record from a very tender age. From as early as age 4, Jodian's undeniable prowess as a reggae vocalist was made known to the world, in no particular order. She began wowing the Jamaican audience through her entries in local talent competitions, and from there, rose to become one of the most loved female reggae dancehall artists. By age 12, it was impossible to walk the streets of Jamaica without catching a glimpse of her records, as at the time, she had released a soul-inspiring gospel track, I Will Give My Heart, without fail. After blazing through her years as a child star, she went on to build a career in reggae music, and in 2008, she won an EME award for her song, Bed of Roses. This gave her the confidence she needed to hone her craft, and since then, she hasn't backed down despite the difficulties and challenges each stage of her career presents. Without exaggeration, the likes of Jordan have always paved the way for upcoming reggae and dancehall female artists. Number 14, Coppercat. Not many child stars had the kind of breakthrough Coppercat had from an early age, yet he never slept on that leverage to roll out more hits. Copper's zeal for reggae music became visible to everyone at the age of 8 when he found solace in DJing and lip-syncing reggae dancehall songs. Yet at the time, he never saw the kind of success he wanted until he crossed paths with Rich Stevens, who was shooting the video for his hit song, Winner. Rich, who immediately saw the potential in the young chap, took an interest in him and made him part of his team. But this was not without a discussion with Copper's uncle at the time. Shortly after, Stevens penned the song Stay in School for him, and with precision, Copper delivered a fantastic piece that would not just wow him, but the world at large over time. The song became an anthem on many radio stations, and also went on to live rent-free in the minds of reggae music lovers. Copper eventually became part of Stevens' family, which provided him with the platform to showcase his talent in most of his shows. Their relationship favored Copper in every way, as he didn't lack good lyrics even as a child star, and this helped him to become a superior version of himself. From Wise Up to Ben Die Tree and Run Die Version, he never ceased to promote morality through his songs. He grew up loving everything about reggae music, but unfortunately, he didn't live long enough to make the kind of impact he wanted. Nevertheless, his legacy lives on. On January 21st, Coppercat was killed in Kingston, Jamaica, by a fatal shot from some miscreants while he was on his way to his mentor's house, Rich Stevens. Number 13, Little Lenny.
There was this All Island Builders Club thing, you know?
Born Nigel Grandison. On December 4th, 1972, his career as a reggae dancehall artist can be traced back to his teenage years. Famously known as Little Lenny, he gave 1990 some smash hits that many won't dare forget in a hurry. Songs like Gun in a Baggie, Healthy Body, and Bum Flick. Lenny remains one child star who turned the reggae community upside down with hit tracks. The birth of Little Lenny occurred at the age of 17, while he was still known as a straight kid attending Kingston College High School. Nevertheless, his time at school never stopped him from falling in love with reggae music. And at that time, he had already produced a song for producer Donovan Germain at his penthouse studio. It was at this studio that he formed a friendly partnership with producer Patrick Roberts of Shocking Vibes, which led to the production of his first hit song, Gun in a Baggie. However, this song created problems for him, as he was later expelled from high school. His partnership with Roberts still yielded hit songs, Yet, he didn't enjoy the dividends because he didn't know too much about the business aspect of it. Things eventually got so bad for him that he was stealing electricity and water just to make a living. However, things eventually turned out well for him when he was motivated by a pastor's sermon to start his own business in Kingston. Even though the once child star didn't entirely erase music from his archives, he has since found his footing in other ventures, making his story even more interesting. How he later became an all-time wealthy businessman can only be explained by the miracle that takes place overnight behind the scenes. Number 12. Risto Benji. The likes of Risto Benji didn't just have a breakthrough in reggae and dancehall music as a child star, but left their footprints for upcoming generations to live by. Although he didn't live long enough to tell his own story, his music continues to resonate in the minds of reggae and dancehall lovers. Risto's life in the genre of reggae and dancehall began when he was still a child at the age of 8. During the 1980s, he found solace in the water-based studio and sound system King Jammy, and went on to become a voice in reggae music that critics couldn't even deny. Jammy, who at the time saw potential in the young lad, took a chance on Risto, and with their partnership, they were able to churn out hits like Gimme the Money and the raunchy Passport Buddy. Eventually, his trials paid off, and both of them went on to tour the world due to the success of his song. As a young child, fame came knocking at his door, but unfortunately, he was unable to manage it. With his newfound fame, he began associating with the likes of Shabba Ranks and other high-profile artists. He rode on the wings of fame, churning out more hits like Mama Cry and Pepper Pot. But that didn't stop him from living a reckless lifestyle. As Jammy would later say, reggae music became his dwelling place as he grew. And just when his name was chanted by all and sundry, then came the crack that blew it all. On May 16, 2011, Risto Benji was shot and killed by unknown gunmen, leaving behind his tracks as evidence of his impact on reggae music. Number 11. Freddie McGregor.
We enjoyed the show tonight.
Absolutely.
Brethren.
You just burn down the place.
London, Boysdale will never be the same again.
The reggae and dancehall community has witnessed numerous child stars. Nevertheless, Freddie McGregor stands in history as one child star who passionately drew audiences from far and wide. Known as Little Freddie from yesteryears, McGregor gave the world some timely hits to hold on to as a child star. His musical career kicked off in 1963 at the age of 7, when he joined Ernest Wilson and Peter Austin to form the Clarendonians and began recording for the Studio One label. From a tender age, he foresaw the future of reggae music and began to make his mark on the art form. Since then, he has continued to reap the dividends of his efforts. Growing up as a reggae dancehall artist, he worked closely with producer Niney the Observer during the late 1970s and early 1980s, and together they produced hits like Bobby Babylon, Big Ship, Push Comes to Shove, and Just Don't Want to Be Lonely, the latter of which earned him a top 10 hit in the UK. As he grew up, he didn't leave reggae music behind. He contributed immensely, creating a platform to express himself via his music. He toured extensively for many years, providing his audience with the experience of hearing the best in reggae music. Every input of his spoke volumes about the quality of time and energy he invested in his craft to achieve his current position. In 2012, he released his album, Die Captain, which became an anthem in reggae music, and honestly, it was a culmination of years of investment in the genre. Freddie still vibes strongly to reggae and dancehall, and he also didn't fail to train one of his sons to keep the fire burning. Number 10. Dennis Brown.
Each man's dream as your own. That should be good enough.
Not often do we see child reggae stars blazing records in several ways. However, Dennis Brown was 10 steps ahead of his peers. Born Dennis Emmanuel Brown, he is one of the several reggae stars whose impact transitioned into adulthood. Brown's inexplicable career took off when he was 9, right from the environs of junior high school, where he performed for the very first time in an end-of-term concert. Although he had loved music before, this concert ignited his passion for it as a performing art. Inspired by American balladeers such as Brooke Benton, Sam Cooke, and Frank Sinatra, he drew on their experiences to craft lyrics that have stood the test of time. Poised with a passion to become known, he regularly hung around JJ's record store on Orange Street, where he got the opportunity to sing for the neighborhood. At age 11, he made his first professional appearance when he visited Tit for Tat, a local West Kingston nightclub, where his brother was performing a comedy routine with songs like Baby Don't Do It and Things in Life. Brown was already a popular child star who never stopped giving vibes. Eventually, he took his career to the next level as he grew up and went on to release several hit songs with which he toured the UK. In 1977, he enjoyed a phenomenal career as an adult reggae star, but by 1990, his health began to deteriorate. This affected him in no small way, and to make matters worse, his constant drug abuse affected him severely, while the reggae dancehall community had wished he would live longer to rewrite the narrative in reggae music. He died on June 30th, 1999, in Kingston. Nevertheless, his legacy lives on. Number 9, Delroy Wilson.
I think he's a great artist, as he'll tell you for himself. He can tell you more about himself than me.
Delroy Wilson, the phenomenal reggae dancehall singer, achieved wonders as a child reggae star that even his contemporaries never attained, let alone adult reggae stars. Wilson's passion for music as a child was unparalleled, so much so that he was given the nickname Jamaica's first child star. As a child, reggae music was to him what drugs could provide, and when he found his niche, he knew there was no going back. At age 13, while still a pupil at Boys Town Primary School, Wilson released his first single, Emmy Lou, in 1962 for record producer Clement Coxzone Dodd. His early years with Coxzone produced several hits that resonated with everyone, from Spit in the Sky to 1, 2, 3 and I Shall Not Remove. Wilson made a name for himself as a child star. With years of investment in his career, Wilson eventually ingrained his sound in the minds of reggae music lovers, to such an extent that it was impossible not to mention his name in reggae and dancehall music. As time went on, Wilson launched his own record label, named W&C. Although the label was short-lived, it didn't fail to churn out great hits that resonated deeply within the reggae community. He continued his pursuit of good music until the early 1980s, when his music production dwindled for apparent reasons. Things went sour at the time, but his musical career was revived when he teamed up with King Jammy and Bunny Lee, a group of producers who helped him improve his skills. Unfortunately, Wilson's impact was short-lived after he was diagnosed with cirrhosis. On March 6, 1995, at age 46, Wilson died in Kingston's UWI hospital from complications of cirrhosis. Number 8, Beanie Man. Born Moses. Anthony Davis, on August 22, 1973, he is popularly known as Beanie Man. Beanie's fame didn't come from adulthood, but rather as a child when he found solace in reggae music. His prolific career, which has enriched the world in many ways, began when he was 5 years old. He got involved in music when he started toasting at the age of 5, and when his uncle, Sidney Knowles, Jimmy Cliff's drummer, saw him, he gave him a hand that helped him harness his gifts. This single encouragement was all he needed at the time, and he went on to become one of the most loved reggae DJs in the whole world. In 1981, Beanie won the Tasty Talent Contest, and from there he met radio DJ Barry G, who introduced him to local sound system operators who helped establish the popularity of the young DJ. He recorded his debut single, Too Fancy, with record producer Henry Junjo Laws in 1981, which eventually propelled several singles that would later bless the reggae community. In 1984, Beanie Man recorded some timeless hits with Barrington Levy. However, they were not released until 10 years later. Despite his fame and popularity as a child star, Beanie's career was put on hold while he finished school and spent time traveling to the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada. He was crowned King of Dancehall at the music festival called Reggae Sumfest in July of 2009, with hits like Who Am I, Street Life, and Feel It Boy. Beanie stamped his foot in reggae dancehall, so much so that long after he is gone, generations to come won't stop singing his praises. Number 7, Ken Booth.
Kept me warm. You gave my life to me.
While many celebrate the phenomenal reggae star Ken Booth, Few are aware of the profound impact he made as a child star. Ken attended Denham Primary Elementary School, and during this period, he fell deeper in love with music. However, after receiving encouragement from his elder sister, Hyacinth Clover, an established vocalist, he couldn't shake off the passion that welled up inside him. His greatest inspiration from yesteryear came from Owen Gray, particularly because he heard Gray perform the Lieber and Staller rhythm and blues version of the 1920s standard Kansas City blues. His breakthrough as a child star came in 1963 after Cole arranged an audition at Duke Reed's studio, and from there, he became a voice that echoed deep in the environs of reggae dancehall. The duo formed the music group Stranger and Ken and went on to release their hit single, Hush Baby, which brought them to the public's attention. After running several years with Cole, the duo parted ways, and Ken started a solo career that would later make him one of reggae dancehall's finest artists. In 1966, Boothie recorded his first solo tracks after he was signed to the Studio One label. With songs like The Train Is Coming on the list, he got himself on the lips of everyone, so much so that even his critics spoke well of him. As he grew, his passion for good music grew as well, which led him to drop hits that eventually stood the test of time. In more recent times, Booth has recorded for Bunny Lee, Phil Pratt, King Jammy, and Castro Brown, dubbing him not just a reggae and dancehall singer, but also a legend who has carved out his path through years of diligence. Number 6. Errol Dunkley.
Okay, Fred, bully for you. Okay, Fred.
Born Errol Dunkley on February 6, 1951. He is a reggae musician whose impact on music began from an early age. Dunkley's recording career began in 1965 when he was 14 with Gypsy, a duet with Roy Shirley for Lyndon Pottinger's Gay Disc label, as well as My Queen and Love Me Forever on the Rio label. That era instilled within him the kind of confidence needed for his musical journey, and within a short while, he began to reap the dividends of his investments. From 1967 to 1968, he recorded several singles for Joe Gibbs, including Please Stop Your Lying and Love Brother. His songs were evergreen and never faded with the advent of more hit songs in the market. Dunkley never ceased to wow his audience with his singing and dancing capabilities, to the extent that he was called reggae's finest at the time. He took music to the next level, and while some of reggae's child stars switched to something else, Dunkley never saw a future outside of music. In the early 1970s, Gregory Isaacs formed the African Music record label with a partner, but shortly after, Isaacs took over the label for reasons unknown. He eventually stepped aside and went on to launch another record label named Silver Ring, with which he made the reggae music scene uncomfortable for those who only made music for fun rather than passion. Throughout the 1970s, Dunkley recorded several hit songs, so much so that he had a breakthrough in the UK singles chart in 1979 with OK Fred. Dunkley has consistently produced good music in recent times, and today, in history, he is one of reggae dancehall's most revered artists. Number 5, Nadine Sutherland. It's impossible to mention reggae dancehall artists without mentioning Nadine Sutherland, a reggae dancehall child star who was on fire at the time. She was a different breed altogether, and from her vocal prowess, you could tell she was made for stardom. She began singing at a very young age, and her first performance was in 1979 when she won the Tasty Talent Contest, beating Paul Blake and Yellow Man. Her parents managed her career since she was still in high school at St. Andrews. She combined her musical career with studies in business administration and was the first artist to be signed by Bob Marley. Bob inspired her so much and nurtured her until she became a superior version of herself. As a child star at the age of 11, she recorded Salvation on the Land, and in short order, her songs were played by everyone. She went on to record several Christian singles, including Hands and Heart, A Young One Like Me, and Work and Pray, reaffirming that her career was only just beginning. Her relationship with Bob Marley grew to a greater level, and nothing could break the bond they had. After Marley's death, things took an unusual turn, and it took a while before Nadine could break out. As a solo artist, it took a while before she could break through. After touring the US as support for Bunny Wailer, she worked as a backing vocalist at Gussie Clarke's Music Works studio. Despite all she faced, she continued her adventure in reggae music and later went on to build a name for herself. In September 2020, Nadine recorded a special of a 1993 hit for U.S. Vice President candidate Kamala Harris, stating to the world that she is still in the game today. She remains a female legend in reggae dancehall, nurturing young reggae artists to give their best in all they do. Number 4. Q. Q. Born Kareem Dawkins. In March 1994, he grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. His passion for music from a tender age drove him to pursue singing with all his might. And to everyone's great surprise, his efforts were crowned with glory. At the age of 10, he recorded his first world hit, which not only made him one of the youngest child stars, but also one who broke records on the charts. As a child star, his unique way of singing was at the top of the roof, and each time he combined his melodious voice with dance moves, fans couldn't wait to go wild in unimaginable ways. With his song, Poverty on Repeat in the reggae scene, he went on to create an impact that made him one of the most respected child stars in Jamaica's history. Even though he enjoyed success from a very young age, QQ never slowed a bit in churning out hits that would later rewrite the wrong narrative that had long been believed for over a decade in reggae and dancehall. With songs like One Drop, Ghetto Gal, and Skip to My Lou, he was already a voice to reckon with. One time, he explained that his earliest hits were born through brainstorming. Unbeknownst to him and his support system, they were in the process of creating history. The entertainer eventually left high school with 7 CXC subjects. In 2022, he earned an Associate of Science degree in Liberal Arts from Canton University in New York. QQ has collaborated with several artists over the years, and he isn't stopping anytime soon. Number 3. Junior Tucker.
For the people, are you ready?
Reggae dancehall artists have come and gone, but Junior Tucker remains one who broke through the mainstream from a tender age. He began his career as a secular artist, but after an encounter with God, he transitioned to gospel music and became a gospel singer. At the age of 7, he released his first hit, Happy, and within a short while, it became a #1 hit single in Jamaica. It became clear that he had something to offer and was loved by everyone. As a child star, he knew how to entertain the audience so much, so that he was called the Jamaican Michael Jackson. In 1978, he performed at the One Love Peace concert, making himself known to the world. His voice became one that couldn't be etched out of time, and he went on to release further hits that became anthems around the world. Radio stations made it their favorite song, and in no distant time, he broke records that no one would have ever believed would be in his archives. With songs like Some Guys Have All the Luck and Mr. Telephone Man, he was already blazing through the corridors of fame. He went on to study audio engineering at the Institute of Audio Research in New York City. While many thought he would abandon music, he continued writing songs that would later usher in the next phase of his career. His encounter with gospel music occurred after his father's death and the birth of his daughter. He began experiencing weird dreams, and when he couldn't hold it any longer, he asked God to let him sleep. He eventually became born again, and today, he lives his life pleasing God. Number 2. Little John. Little John's life as a child star can't be forgotten in a hurry. He pursued music as a career from his early days and never stopped until he established himself in a way that left one doubt about his impact. Born March 30th, 1965, he began performing and recording at a very tender age of 9. He first recorded for Captain Sinbad's Youth in Progress label, and is regarded by some as the first dancehall artist to take over the mainstream. He was known for his ability to create lyrics over any backing track. Throughout the 1980s, he was backed by Roots and Sly and Robbie, and with that, he was able to perform on the world stage, changing the hearts of those who thought he was too small to change the world with his music. From there, he joined Sugar Minot's youth promotion organization and performed at sound systems such as Romantic Hi-Fi, Kilimanjaro, Gemini, and Henry Junjo. His songs had a unique emblem of ecstasy, so much so that throughout all of Jamaica, his songs were the core of the moment. Little John's distinctive vocal styling had a significant influence on the emerging digital reggae scene of the mid-1980s, an influence that extended into the early reggae, jungle music, and drum and bass scenes in London in the early to mid-1990s. His voice was not just suited to the reggae community, but he knew how to blend it with grace, such that he brought healing to the hearers. In 2025, Little John collected rare digital roots, reggae, and disco mix tunes from his own Romantic 45 label. Today, Little John remains a respectable voice in reggae music, and he is not stopping anytime soon. Number 1, Billy Boyo. The reggae community has witnessed numerous child reggae stars, but none still tickles the fancy of fans like he does to this day. Born September 21st, 1971, he was unarguably the most prolific of the early 1980s child. DJ Stars Boyo was still in his early teens when he took music as a career, blessing lives in the reggae community. In 1983, he, along with Little John and Ranking Toyin, went to London, where they linked up with producer Silver Camel. This meeting propelled him to greater heights, and the outcome was hits back-to-back. One Spiff a Day and Wicked She Wicked came around this time, so much so that the latter went on to top charts in 1982. His early career was marked by great possibilities, to the extent that at some point, they began comparing his sound to that of the late reggae legend Bob Marley. Throughout the early to mid-1980s, Billy Boyo recorded with some of the most respected and best-selling conscious roots reggae vocalists and chanters of the period. Boyo was relatively prolific in the early stages of his recording career, releasing several disco mix roots, Radix-backed, and scientist-engineered vocal and dub 12 singles in a comparatively short period from the early to mid-1980s. He was a genius who knew how to craft words to achieve his desires. Among them were Don Carlos, Dennis Walks, Linval Thompson, and Anthony Johnson. Billy Boyo was literally the face of the new school, but somehow his career was short-lived. Little of him was heard after the 1980s. It was later revealed that he suffered health problems while living his best life as a reggae musician. While fans were hoping that everything changed for his good and that he would eventually pick up his career, Billy died of a brain tumor on October 29, 2000, after a 2-month-long struggle Billy Boyo's music lives on. And even reggae music lovers of yesteryears could attest to the fact that the young child star was on another level. Which of these child reggae and dancehall stars brought back good memories? And which of their songs resonated with you? Please let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as many excellent videos are waiting for you.